Well, Jeddah is our venue for tonight's AFC Champions League Elite clash between the reigning champions Al-Ahli of Saudi Arabia, who begin their title defence against FC Nasaf of Uzbekistan at the imposing King Abdullah Sports City Stadium in Saudi Arabia's second largest city after Riyadh. And as you can see, the temperatures are rather sticky, 34 degrees. That will play in the home side's favour. FC Nasaf hail from the city of Kashi, and temperatures there today around 20 degrees. It was just over 4 months ago that Al-Ahli defeated Kawasaki Frontale to claim their maiden crown in Asia. And although they did have a bit of a stutter domestically at the weekend, being held to a goalless draw by Al-Ettifaq, they must surely start the strong favourites here tonight against FC Nasaf, who've never been further in the modern iteration anyway than the round of 16 in this competition. They did finish third in the old Asian Club Championship all the way back in 2001-02. And they've only beaten the Saudi Arabian side once in 8 attempts in this competition. However, the caveat to that is that that victory was against Al-Ahli all the way back in 2016, when they triumphed 2-1 in Uzbekistan in the group stage, and they had never won in Saudi. They do have a few fans here cheering them on tonight, as you can see, in the traditional headdress of their country. And of course, records are there to be broken, and they warmed up rather nicely for this one as well. Nasaf with a 5-0 romp over Bukshura at the weekend, which further strengthened their lead atop the Uzbek Championship, which they won for the very first time in 2024. They've also won an Asian trophy as well. The AFC Cup found its way to the city of Kashi back in 2011. And as we know, on the international stage, Uzbekistan is a nation very much on the rise. However, this is probably the toughest away trip in Asia at the moment. Al-Ahli, not just the champions, but unbeaten in 18 Asian Champions League Elite matches. They last lost to Istiklal of Iran by 2-1 in 2021. Here come the home side. The fans all dressed in green, but Al-Ahli playing predominantly in white with the rather snazzy green sash rippling across it. And they are hoping to become the first club side to retain the AFC Champions League title since Al-Ittihad, also of Saudi Arabia, managed to do it in 2005 after winning it 12 months previously. It's not an easy thing to do in this continent. As for FC Nasaf, aside of that third place finish in the old Asian Club Championship that I mentioned, in the modern version of the competition, Bunyodkor has put in the best performance from that particular nation. Semi-finalist twice in 2008 and 2012. FC Nasaf looking to make their impact on this competition. They're no strangers to the tournament. And the last time they played in the AFC Champions League Elite, which was a couple of years back, they did actually win their group and go through to the knockout phase. Used to playing second fiddle in terms of publicity and lease to the big two from Tashkent in Uzbekistan, Bunyodkor and Pakhtakor. As for Al-Ahli, well, they'd waited a long time to get that Asian crown. And whilst I'm sure they would love to retain their title, I'm pretty sure they've also got one eye on winning their first Saudi Pro League championship. since 2015-16. They've been runners-up twice since, but last year finished, by their standards, a rather lowly 5th, 16 points behind the eventual champions, Al-Ittihad. Pristine surface at the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium in Jeddah. Not exactly a full house inside the 62,000 capacity venue, but plenty here to cheer on their favourites. And the home fans here to pay respect to the team who went all the way in 24-25. This is the team that stands in their way, FC Nasaf, playing in a very colourful, predominantly all-red strip. They certainly won't miss each other this evening. And the Al-Ahli lineup packed full of stars. There's one of the most famous names at the end, Riyad Mahrez. Goalkeeper Edouard Mendy, also very well known for his days in the English Premier League with Chelsea. Rather more modest names in the FC Nasaf lineup, but plenty of Uzbekistan internationals among them. And they certainly will not come here to make it easy for the champions. So the start of the long journey, the elongated group stage now, mirroring that of Europe. And it all starts here in Jeddah. And here's the team news. Al-Ahli making a couple of changes from the 11 that drew with Al-Ettifaq. Brazilian Galeno and new loan signing Zakaria Al-Hawsawi, both missing from the squad. So the Belgian under-21 international Matteo Dams returns at left-back, while Firas Albreken gets a rare start on the left flank. He's part of a formidable-looking front four, featuring former Premier League winner Riyad Mahrez, ex-Brentford striker Ivan Toney, and new arrival from Stuttgart, Enzo Mio. Another new acquisition, Brazilian Matheus Gonçalves, is on the bench. There is Matthias Jaisler, their coach. Quick handshake with his opposite number, Razikul Verdiv. The two captains, Umarbek Eshmuradov of FC Nasaf and Edouard Mendy of Al-Ahli. And there's our referee, the 39-year-old Japanese official Ryo Tanimoto, who leads an all-Japanese quartet on the field. And Hiroki Kasahara and Kota Watanabe are in VAR. And Nasaf have gone with a rather defensive-looking lineup, drafting in Golib Gaibuliev and Alibek Davronov in what looks like a back five. Top scorer Hussein Nurchayev is likely to lead the attack alone. Serbian winger Stefan Kolovic will look to offer support on the right. Ozbek Bozorov on the left. Nigerian striker Yusuf Otabanjo is on the bench, alongside veteran Dragan Cheran, now back for a second spell with Nasaf at the age of 38. And there's the goal badge, which signifies that Al-Ahli are the champions of Asia. And they line up to take the acclamation from their supporters, and even joining in with the song as well. There is Matthias Jaisler, the 37-year-old German, who won a couple of championships in Austria with Red Bull Salzburg, and who's transformed Al-Ahli into a high-pressing, highly efficient unit. Saudi gegenpress, you could call it. Riyad Mahrez, 9 goals and 8 assists in last year's AFC Champions League Elite. FC Nasaf kicking us off, playing from right to left on your screen in the first half. And this is going to be a real tough test for the champions of Uzbekistan. But you never know. The Champions League Elite has thrown up some surprise results in recent years. And Al-Ahli, even though they are unbeaten in all competitions to start the current campaign, not yet really hit top gear. 4 points out of 6 from 2 Saudi Pro League matches, but just the 1 goal scored. And Nemetov under pressure, clears upfield. He's one of those Uzbekistan internationals that I mentioned, but ostensibly the number 2. To the rather more experienced Utkir Yusupov. And Bozorov slipping a foot in there. Stamping on the toe of Ziad Al-Jahani. There is Rozikul Berdiyev, who took over Nasaf, would you believe, in 2012. Which makes him one of the longest serving coaches in Asia. He almost also played, I should say, over 300 matches for the club. And has won 5 Uzbek Coach of the Year awards. It's quite the record of longevity. And it's a sore one, that, for Ziad Al-Jahani. Only 3 native-born players in the Al-Ahli starting 11. Hard for the locals to break through. There's such an array of foreign talent at their disposal. Ball safely steered back to his goalkeeper by Sherod Nasrulayev. Al-Ahli looking to press high, but Rakhmatov steering it safely out towards Skybalayev. Here's Bozorov. Al-Barikan unable to break clear. And all the way back to Edouard Mendy via Roger Ibanez. 3 times capped Brazilian international, who cost Al-Ahli 30 million euros a couple of years ago. Slight miscue from Ali Mazrashi. He and Ziad Al-Jahani of the locals started at AFC Champions League Elite final against Kawasaki Frontale last May. All the rest garnered from around the world at some considerable expense. Franck Kessie, one of those imports. Touched around the corner by Enzo Mio. Freshly arrived from Stuttgart, with whom he won the German Cup last year. That should be the goalkeepers. And so far, so good for FC Nasaf. This is Murabek Rakhmatov. Ball forward had way too much pace on it for Norachayev, who is likely to get through an awful lot of running with not an awful lot of supports this evening. There he is, pressing the Turkish defender, Maria Demiral. Ibanez. All the way back for Edouard Mendy, who now has both an Asian Champions League medal, winner's medal, to go with his European Champions League winner's medal, which of course he won with Chelsea. Here's Riyad Mahrez. Chopped down. And that's 2 fouls now by Özbek Bozorov. Just going to have to watch his step. Leo Tanamoto, just reminding him of the fact that he's keeping count. First chance perhaps for Al-Ahli to put some pressure on the Nasaf goal. Mahrez to take the set piece towards Ibanez at the back post. Chested down by Ivan Toney. Dealt with by Nasaf. Mahrez supporting the intent from his teammate. Ibanez has that foul again from Bozorov. One of those drafted in today, Özbek Bozorov. Perhaps as much for his defensive tenacity as his attacking intent, although he is ostensibly a left winger. Very much tucked in and playing a defensive role. It's another free kick. Bakramov bowling over the top of Ento Mio. What does Riyad Mahrez do this time? See if he can add another assist to the 8 that he got in this competition last season. Maybe even another goal. He's going to have a go, Riyad Mahrez. He is looking to become just the 3rd Al-Ahli player in history to reach 10 goals in Asia's top competition, if he can score one this evening. Ahead of him only Victor Samoes with 14, and Omar Al-Soba, the Syrian striker, is way out in front on 24. Nazruliev with nowhere to go, really. And the pattern of the game, you feel, is somewhat set even at this early stage. Edouard Mendy likely to have long periods where he'll just need to keep his concentration. causes for alarm as yet for FC Nasaf. Who are taking part in Asia's top competition for the 10th time overall. That includes their campaigns in the old Asian Club Championship. They've been to the round of 16 twice in the modern version. Yes, looking to stride forward. Good advantage played by the referee. Unfortunately for Al-Ahli, it doesn't work in their favour. And Ibanez is saying, why didn't they get the whistle? When he sees the replay, I think he'll probably understand why Rio Tanamoto opted to play on. Up in the air by Al-Jahani. Worked wide nicely by From Kessie towards Firas Albriken. Ali Al-Majrashi getting the ball out of play near touchline. So far, the game plan of Rozikul Berdiv has worked to a T. Rashi, no way forward, so opts to go back. This is Matteo Dams. One or two eyebrows raised when he was also named as part of Al-Ahli's development squad for the new season. That, along with the arrival of Zakaria Al-Hawsawi, fueled a bit of speculation that he might be on his way. Signed from PSV Eindhoven. Very much young project player, just 21. This is Merih Demiral. First time ball by Mahrez, and Rashi went first time as well, looking for the run of Enzo Mio into the box. He's replacing Gabri Vega in the playmaking role this season. Cost Al-Ahli a cool €35 million when signing on in August. Chayev has got rid of his opponent Ibanez, but in doing so he fouled the Brazilian. But he is a threat. He is their top scorer this season with 12 goals domestically, capped twice by the Uzbekistan national team. He's a little bit unfortunate in that regard, and he's third fiddle at national level behind the legendary Eldor Shomurodov, of course, and also Igor Sergeyev. He did score on his international debut against Malaysia 4 years ago, but somewhat seen his path blocked to regular starts since by the aforementioned duo. Very much first choice for FC Nasaf. And if he gets half a chance, don't bet against him scoring. Ball work wide for Mahrez. Who lifts it rather hopefully into the box. Where Igor Golban, Russian-born but Uzbek nationalised, puts it behind for a corner. Ivan Toney sniffing out a possible opportunity here. Mara's opting to go short, change of angle. That one needs a bit more work, you'd say. A little bit of rustiness, perhaps, for Al-Ahli. Still very much the embryonic stage of their season. You can see Coach Matthias urging a little bit more tempo from his players. AFC Nasaf is 3/4 the way through their season. There's a little coming together between Olchaev and Demiral, which the referee will quickly resolve. Demiral taking exception to that little push. He's reminding Rio Tanemoto that that's the second foul he suffered at the hands of his opponent. The AFC Nasaf 21 matches into their domestic campaign. So they are battle-hardened. Al-Ahli just 2 matches into their domestic season. They have played 4 matches overall. A couple of games, one in the King's Cup, one in the Super Cup. They are unbeaten in all 4. Really been able to fashion a chance as yet. It's this very sturdy FC Nasaf defence. Well, now a mistake could open the door by Davronov. Rebound favoured the goalkeeper. Golban going long, and Demiral to steer it back to Mendy, who also wears the captain's armband for Al-Ahli. Very much in vogue these days, goalkeeper captains. Never used to be the case. He's often viewed as being too far away from the main body of the action, but view in the modern era has been dumped in the trash can. Offside flag here against Matteo Dams. Yeah, by a good metre or so. Here's Riyad Mahrez. It's a poor delivery by Mio. And he knew it. One back quickly, though, by Majrashi. And then another poor ball. Just not quite in the groove. The Asian champions. Good steal by Ibanez. Mahrez. Toney not quite able to reel it in. sense they're not far away from finding their range. Nematov to clear upfield. Chayev turn it into the path of Stefan Kolovic, who is in an advanced position. Mio. Kessie. Yes, it's a really good ball by the Brazilian. And the cross turned away by Golban at the near post. Just that final pass missing at the moment for the home team. They're getting plenty of backing from their noisy supporters. Al-Ahli, touched by Tony. Kessie. It's a lovely ball towards Kessie at the back of the penalty area. Mahrez retrieving it. Nice Rashi. Back through Demiral. Happy to join in with the attack. That's where it breaks down, courtesy of Ibanez. Now a chance for Kolovic down the right. Bozarov. That's Nazralayev in a good position. And a better cross might have produced a more testing result for Edouard Mendy. Certainly FC Nasaf's best moment in an attacking sense, at least so far. Brings the stadium briefly to an almost complete silence. Ibanez. Mio. Dams back to the Brazilian. All over the top looking for Riyad Mahrez. Just loops up onto the roof of the goal. Probably the closest the home side has come. In truth, the answer to how close is, well, not very. Ball forward, laid off by Norchayev. Here's Rakhmatov. Those boos will be music to the ears of FC Nasaf. Means that they have successfully frustrated last year's Champions League Elite winners. At least thus far, anyway. A lot more energy in the stands than perhaps there is on the field at the moment, and maybe given the temperatures, that's understandable. 33, 34 degrees at kickoff. Demiral. Mahrez. The Nasaf defence again well set. Ibanez. Wide for Aldrikin, who gives the ball away rather carelessly. Oh, he's very eager to win it back. Nematov thumps it forward. Volleyed back by Demiral. Nasaf again, pretty comfortable. And Sherzod Nasrulayev airing down the left. Has support as well from Bakramov. Not strong enough. Well, in the first instance anyway, but he's won it back. And here's Nasrulayev with the first real shots in anger on target, and then a foul on Ibanez. Another one by Hussein Norchayev. Brings that little attack to an end, but it was very promising for a moment or two for FC Nasaf. Nasrullayev's shot clipped the heel of the defender. And the foul by the striker. Just a little warning for Al-Ahli as the two teams take a little refreshment break, which I'm sure is most welcome in these temperatures. And those fans cheering on the team from Uzbekistan, I think, will be quietly satisfied with their work so far. The Asian champions kept pretty quiet. This one header from Riyad Mahrez that's looped up onto the roof of Abdulvakir Namatov's goal. One scare at the other end for Matisse Yaisler's team. I'm sure the message from Igor Golban is, let's keep the focus. The shape is good. So the cooling break over. Al-Ahli with a couple of minutes to ponder as to how they might break down this stubborn FC Nasaf defence. Ibanez. Crossfield by Kessie. Dropped it on a dive as well for Riyad Mahrez. Here's Ali Mazrashi. No way back towards Mahrez for Enzo Mio. Nasaf working hard to shut down the spaces and not allowing Matisse Yaisler's team to play. Is no mean feat against a team which scored in every single Champions League Elite match they played in last season, racking up a total of 34 goals in the process, conceding just 10 at the other end. That's a careless giveaway though. Could open the door here for Sanderbek Bakramov. Wide by Gaivuliev. This is Kolovic. Serbian winger. There's a former junior with Red Star Belgrade and Atletico Madrid as well. Nasrulayev, who's probably had the only real shot in anger for FC Nasaf so far. Bakhmatov, and a long-range effort is really good by Gaivuliev, and forced Edouard Mendy into a reaction stop. That was really travelling. Something out of nothing. Good save by the Al-Ahli custodian. And it's FC Nasaf who come the closest to breaking the deadlock after half an hour. He was an awful long way out. Guy shot which moved in the air. Fortunately for Al-Ahli, the Senegalese goalkeeper was up to the task. It's been the two defenders for Nasaf. First, Nasrallah, and then secondly, Guy. They tested the Al-Ahli defence. Free kick has gone Al-Ahli's way. And FC Nasaf a little puzzled about that. Tony, barely been involved as yet. Well, he has scored 4 goals in 5 games in all competitions so far this season. Back with Mahrez for a second go. Up in the air by Kessie. Ibanez is in there. And it deflects off a defender from Kessie's shot. Losing his headband in the process of that move. He had been offside there. He was. Apology from Nematov. This has been a really good first half display by the Uzbek champions. Given away carelessly, big chance here for Nasaf, and Nurchayev tucks it away, and FC Nasaf take a shot lead against the champions of Asia, and it's their top scorer, Hussein Nurchayev, who tucked the ball away with aplomb after a horrible error from Maria Demiral. It's not the first defensive mistake in possession by Al-Ahli, but this time they've been forced to pay cash by Nurchayev. He was all alone, but kept his composure brilliantly and threaded it past Edouard Mendy. "12 goals in the domestic competition, but that's the one that will mean the most to him this season. And replicating Erling Haaland's celebration, if you don't mind. And Al-Ahli are stumped. And perhaps in truth, no more than FC Nasaf have deserved for their first half display. They've been very well organised. Had a couple of sighters through the defenders, Nasrallah and Guy before that breakthrough moment. And didn't he finish it well? about to see what the champions of Asia are made of. Wasn't the best ball by Kessie. Mahrez managing to retain possession for the home side. Mazraoui getting forward as he loves to do. Nasrallah too strong. They've really got the bit between their teeth here. FC Nasaf. It's offside against Mio. Still adjusting to the ways of his new teammates. The Frenchman, who was part of France's home Olympic squad. A little bit slow to get back on side there. Ibanez. Al-Ahli trying to play in Al-Ahli, who's barely been in the game so far. He's more really of a central striker, Firas Al-Ahli, but of course that particular job is taken by Ivan Toney. He's really frozen out by the big name arrivals last season, played only 15 times in the Saudi Pro League. Those appearances off the bench. Does play as the number 9 for the national team. Here's Demiral taking no chances this time. Push and headed by Dams. Al-Ahli. Just didn't come on for Riyad Mahrez. Fortunately for him, given away by Nasrallah. Al-Ahli go in search of Al-Ahli once again. Back through Dams. Kessie. The runners make their move, but it's overhit by quite some distance. And they are all out of sync, Al-Ahli. So we shouldn't be too surprised, given the rapid rise of Uzbekistan as a football country over the last decade. Starting to produce players that are regularly going to the top leagues of Europe. That's a nasty challenge by Rakhmatov. Cynically chopping down Enzo Mio. Maybe a little fortunate to escape a yellow card. At the moment, stuck in second gear. See if Riyad Mahrez can push the accelerator a bit. Long way out, this free kick. Does he float it or try and drive it? Sort of betwixt and between. Good punch away by Nevetov. Away from the danger area. Trying quickly taken for Mio, but this cross is a disappointing one. Nevetov looking to launch it long for Mochayev, but again, Al-Ahli a little bit slow to recover. They committed numbers upfield for that free kick. Here is Bozarov. Cut out by Kessie. This time Al-Ahli going route one. Nematov out to play sweeper keeper. We move into the last 5 minutes of the first half. And there's been, well, almost a complete disappointment in terms of what the home side have been able to put together. Good first touch here by Bozarov, and he threads it through. They could be in for a second. It's Nurchayev, it's two! Another clinical finish from Hussein Nurchayev. And a big shock is on the cards here in Jeddah tonight. Edouard Mendy beaten twice by the same player. And the Uzbek champions are in dreamland at the home of the Asian champions. And he's the man who's done all the damage. And they were just too slow to smell the danger, Al-Ahli. Threaded through nicely by Bozarov. And how about that for another beautifully composed finish? What a nice headache the Uzbek national team coach has if he's third choice. And after the Haaland celebration, now it's the Cristiano Ronaldo one. Perhaps fittingly in Saudi Arabia. They are checking this goal, VAR, just in case there was anything untoward, but that check is quickly over. And Al-Ahli, who, remember, have not lost any of their last 18 Asian Champions League Elite matches since a 5-2 defeat to Esteghlal back in 2021, are staring down the barrel of a home defeat here. They need their big stars to perform. So far they've been disjointed, disconnected. No dispute that Nasaf deserved to lead. Mahrez looking to try and make amends. Here's Kessie, turns it over the bar anyway. And the whistle had already gone. Yeah, clear handball. Does Matthias Geisler do at half-time? He's got plenty of options on the bench, of course, including one of his newest acquisitions, Mateus Gonçalves, the Brazilian who signed on from Flamengo on the 1st of September. 10.5 million euros. Also got Valentin Atangano, who's signed from Reims in France for 29 million. Although he is more of a defensive style midfielder. One thing is for sure, it's going to be a very interesting half-time team talk in that Al-Ahli dressing room, because they have not been at the races in this first 45. Not by a long stretch. All breaks for them here, though. Good work by Matteo Dams. Not a bad cross either. Kessie, at least, rather, yeah, it was Kessie. Got a header on target, which I think is their first of the game. Nematov out to use his head. This is Kolovic. Looking to go around the outside of Dams, tied it up by Ibanez. As Mahrez offside, here he is by quite some margin, I'd wager, as well. by about 1.5 metres. It was more than that, Riyadh. Into the first of 4 additional minutes. Most of the added time, of course, for the cooling break. Al-Ahli really having a sprint to keep that ball away from the very willing Sherzod Nazrullayev. And with Nasaf having committed some numbers forward, maybe an opportunity here for Al-Ahli. And Kessie will get the ball rather inadvertently off Bakramov. Al-Barikin slow to offer him support. That's been the story for Al-Malaki, as they are nicknamed, the Royals. It's Nasaf at the moment to have the royal flush. Courtesy of 2 excellent strikes from Hussein Nurchayev. Mazraoui might get another go here. Oh, now there's contact inside the box, and Mazraoui appeals. Let's have another look at this. I think there was minimal contact. I'm not sure really how much intent Nazrullayev had to play the ball there. And VAR is going to have a look at it, of course. The on-field decision was no penalty. I doubt the on-field decision is going to be overturned, but you never know these days. Nazrullayev did take a bit of a risk. Aims his body towards the full-back rushing through. The ball is nowhere near. That'll be the point, no doubt, that Riyad Mahrez is making to referee Rio Tanimoto. And it's all in the hands of the VAR, whether they deem it a clear and obvious error to overturn the on-field decision of no penalty. There's the first goal, which sent a tiny number of fans from Uzbekistan in the stands into raptures. If anything, this finish is even better. Excellent composure. Mazraoui back to his feet, and the VAR check complete. No penalty awarded. And a stunned silence around the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium on the back of that. Whack to the head of Demiral. To the 5th minute of stoppage time, but of course we did have further delay for that little injury to Ali Mazraoui. The home fans seemingly lost a little bit of belief. They've gone quiet. It's up to the players really to do their bit. That silence will be golden for FC Nasaf. Long ball forwards, Nemetov again. To play as an auxiliary central defender, which he's done 2 or 3 times in this first half. Bakhmatov asking for the foul, and after a slight delay, Rio Tanamoto obliges. I'm not sure there was a huge amount of contact. Dams on the volley, further along by Kessie. Referee's going to bring the back for an Al-Ahli free kick. As we watch the 2 hands in the back of Igor Golban, but that is half-time at the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium, and it's greeted by almost complete silence. FC Nasaf have taken all the wind out of the Asian champion sails. 2 goals, 2 excellent finishes from Hussein Nurchayev. Means that a big shock is very much on the cards here in Jeddah. An excellent game plan, brilliantly executed so far by FC Nasaf. They lead Al-Ahli by 2 goals to 0 at the break.
World's best player for a record 9th time, flying high as the champion in the sky. This year, best airline in the world, world's best business class line. And yet, still a Skytrax.
Well, the second half about to get underway at the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium in Jeddah. And Matthijs Jijsler's team has it all to do. A change is required, and a double change about to be made by the German coach. We're going to see a debut for Matthijs Gonçalves. And also the introduction of Mohamed Suleiman. At the expense of Maria Demiral, whether that's injury related or whether it's to do with the fact that he gave the ball away for the first goal. I guess only the coach will know. Firas Albrikin, we believe, is the other player to make way. So it's going to be a debut for the young Brazilian, formerly of Flamengo. He is an attacking midfielder come winger, born in Rio de Janeiro. Rather frozen out at Flamengo. Played only twice for them this season. He's signed a 2-year deal. And Al-Ahli, who haven't lost a home Asian Champions League Elite game since 2019, have it all to do. That was a 4-2 defeat to Al-Hilal, their compatriots, in the round of 16. That's the situation they're facing. 2-goal deficit. Here's Enzo Mia inside the box, looking to halve the deficit. Gonçalves showing the sort of energy that was really sorely lacking from Al-Ahli in the first 45. I don't know whether Matthijs Jijsler is a teacup thrower or a stripper of paint off the walls with his personality. And his team is struggling, but you can surely think that some harsh words were exchanged in that dressing room at the break. Conversely, AFC Nasaf, well, things have gone swimmingly for them. This is Gonçalves, though. Mahrez being forced back. Earning his team a free kick, and already you sense the urgency. Yellow card shown to centre-back Bakramov for not retreating quickly enough. First caution of the night. And then kicking the ball away as well, didn't help his cause. His free kick deliveries in the first half were a little disappointing. Let's see if this one is any better. Banier's waiting at the back post, keeping conversation with the referee, telling him to keep an eye on what he believes is holding by the Nasaf defenders. Ivan Toney in there, waiting to pounce as well. Should be the goalkeeper's. Oh, and he's been cleaned up completely by Roger Ibanez. And he's got a yellow card, which is not going to help his mood. He's got to be careful he doesn't talk himself into a red. He has really lost the plot, the Brazilian. He was angered by the pushing and shoving and the holding. Went in a little too strong on Nematov in his attempts to win the ball. And the referee, who prior to this had kept his cards in his pocket, has issued 2 in the space of 2 minutes. 1 to each team. He's used to continental competition, won the UEFA Conference League in 21-22, and lost Europa League final with Roma, before, of course, winning the AFC Champions League Elite with Al-Ahli last season. That's the error in the first half, which led to the opening goal, beautifully tucked away by Norchayev. And whether Maria Demiral has paid the price for that by being substituted at half-time, only the coach knows. And there's the second goal, equally finished with aplomb by the excellent Hussein Norchayev. Al-Ahli's record, by the way, against clubs from Uzbekistan in this competition at home before tonight. Red played 6, won 6, 4-17 against 3. So Nasaf have almost double that, the opening 45. And conversely, Nasaf's record in Saudi Arabia in this competition. Red prior to tonight played 5, won 0, drawn 1, lost 4. So I did say at the top, records are there to be broken. So far, FC Nasaf on track. There is at least a quicker tempo about Al-Ahli in this second half. Through Mohamed Suleiman. Here's Demiral's replacement, Ibanez. On towards Ivan Toney, he's been very quiet so far. Mateus Gonçalves whips in a lovely little ball towards Kessie at the near post. Mahrez waiting for it to drop. Nasaf deal with that. And will look to launch a counter here down the left-hand side through Ozbek Bozarov. Suleiman did his job. Tied it up by Ziad Al-Jahani. Here goes Mateus Gonçalves. Al-Ahli, of course, did lose some pretty big-name players during the off-season. Roberto Firmino, Gabri Veiga, Alan Saint-Maximin, all departing the club. Enzo Mio, one of the replacements, curling that one well wide of Nevetov's right-hand upright. Keeping the faith, keeping the noise levels up to a decent volume as well. At the moment, their team needs them. Bozarov's been good down that left-hand side for Nasaf. Defensive duty diligently. It's a mistake by Ibanez, and Nasaf could be in again. This is Skolovic, Shmuradov, Bozarov waiting for the overlapping Nazrulayev, and it will be a corner for Nasaf. Here's Scheisler studying the notes made by his assistants. He's got something of a response, nearly as much as he would have liked as yet. And this corner to defend, taken by Kolovic. Muradov couldn't reach it. And out of Bozorov for an Al-Ahli throw. And there's a few words exchanged on the sidelines as the ball was not returned as Enzo Mio would have liked it by a member of the AFC Nasaf squad. He gets a yellow card. Oh, there we go. A second ball thrown on. Just to disrupt things. That is, I believe, Zafarmarod Abdurrahmatov, the substitute, or one of them for AFC Nasaf, who's got the yellow card. Here's Riyad Mahrez. Now Al-Ahli need a bit of magic from one of their main men. Mio. Goncalves. Dams. And forced backwards. Mohamed Suleiman, as part of the Saudi Arabian squad and played in a friendly win over North Macedonia in the September window. 2-1. He's also on the bench against Czechia. Didn't go where Bozorov wanted it to. Launched in the direction of Ivan Toney. And again, the Al-Ahli fans adamant that their man was impeded. Matthias Geisler too, it would seem. Mio. Back through Ziad Al-Johani. Brought down expertly by Riyad Mahrez. Threaded through nicely as well. This looks more promising for Al-Ahli. They get a corner at the end of it. The overlapping run from Ali Mazrashi paying dividends. Here's that earlier coming together between Igor Golban and Ivan Toney. There was a little tug on the jersey by the Uzbek defender. Kessi pointing that out to referee Rio Tanimoto. There are checks, all these things, of course. I think, in fairness, it's probably a little bit of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Toney went to ground, but there was no whistle. Doesn't look as though VAR are going to intervene in favour of Al-Ahli. But they will check. Kessi unhappy with what he viewed as over-vigorous play as well. Check over. Here's the corner from Mahrez. Ibanez couldn't reach it. Goncalves has lost out, but a handball against Nurbek Rakhmatov. Well, Nasaf would have expected this. Increased pressure from the home side. Defending that proud record of 18 unbeaten matches in this competition. And an unbeaten home record going back 6 years. Mahrez to lift it towards Ibanez. Sort of ducked underneath it, perhaps expecting that his teammate was coming in behind. work by Kolovic. Bakramov threading it through. Not Chayev. He's on a hat-trick, of course. Kolovic. Little back heel by Ibanez for Mateus Gonçalves. Being urged forward by the home fans. Isn't the best ball. Touch of crap for one of the Nasaf players. Understandable, these hot conditions. Also the fact that his teammates probably just need a bit of a breather. From Kessie has had a running commentary with Rio Tanemoto. Whole list of complaints. If anybody's earned a drink, it's him. Scorer of 2 fine first-half goals. And Al-Ahli have less than half an hour, plus stoppages, of course, and there will be a fair chunk of injury time to try and turn this one around. We'll see a double change off the bench for Al-Ahli. We're going to see a debut for French under-21 international Valentin Atangana. Big money signing from Reims. Also going to see the much more attack-minded Salah Abu Al-Shalmat, 23-year-old left winger. Young winger who's just made his international debut for Saudi Arabia against North Macedonia. The off-season from Al-Khalij for $2.5 million. Ziad Al-Jahani is one of those to be replaced. And Ali Rashi, I believe, is the other. Yes, there he is. So a debut for Atangana. See if those changes have any impact on the outcome. Nurabek Rakhmatov is going to have to stay off the pitch for the moment. He was the player who had treatment for cramp. He desperately wants to come back on with his team defending. Here's Riyad Mahrez. A goal here changes the complexion of this game completely. Atangana, nicely disguised ball. Gonçalves. Here's Enzo Mio, who threw himself to the ground and is going to earn a booking for simulation. Well, he did exaggerate the contact. Let's just have another look and see exactly how much there was. Yeah, a tiny bit from Bakramov, but not enough to go to ground like that. I think the referee's got that one right. Really accentuated the minimal contact from Bakramov. Their job is done for tonight. Their teammates still with a very, very big job to do. And And as the arguments rage, Nasaf are going to make a double change. Stefan Kolovic takes his leave to be replaced by the player that was booked for throwing a second ball onto the field. Zafarmarod Abdurakhmatov. And the cramp-stricken Nurabek Rakhmatov takes his leave as well. And on comes the veteran, Dragan Cheran, 38-year-old Serbian. Well, not quite 38, 38 next month. And a veteran of many Champions League campaigns with Nasaf and with Paktakor. Oh, now the goalkeeper's gone walkabout and he's cost his team a goal. Enzo Mio has atoned for that simulation. And what was the goalkeeper thinking? He has thrown Al-Ahli a lifeline out of nowhere. Came wandering out of his goal when really there was no need to. And didn't get good contact, and it was a gift. And even from that distance, Mio was not going to miss from there. Into an empty net, and out of nothing. And really, they haven't looked likely to score tonight, Al-Ahli, but they're on the boards. And FC Nasaf, for the first time this evening, have a bit of an issue. And Abdurvakit Namatov, who's been so solid otherwise this evening, with a bit of a brain fade. They're just going through the various checks. I don't see any particular reason why this might be ruled out. Goal confirmed, 2-1. And now we might see a different match entirely. Al-Ahli re-energised, courtesy of a goalkeeping howler. Well, it's brought the fans back into the contest as well, and for the first time tonight, the coach of Nasaf, Ruzikel Berdiv, wears the look of a somewhat worried man. And still plenty of time left. Here's Goncalves, handy cross, seen out for now by Nazrullayev. Back in it comes, or desperate defending by Nasaf, the goalkeeper again. Didn't know whether to stick or twist. A loose ball, and it's there for the second goal by Enzo Mio again. What a turnaround. 2 goals in 3 minutes for the Asian champions. And it's the Frenchman at the double. Just as Nurchayev was for Nasaf in the first half. And Nasaf only have themselves to blame. The goalkeeping error has really given them the collywobbles. And this scramble ended with another chance for Mio. This one from closer range. And again, he wasn't going to miss from there. They were at 6s and 7s, the Nasaf defence. And Mio poked it home. It's been a tough night in so many ways for Al-Ahli. But somehow, they're back all square. Problems mounting for Ruzikul, Berdiev. He's got that hangdog expression now, and understandably so. His team was so good for over an hour. But you open a door to a team of Al-Ahli's quality, and you are more often than not made to pay. And now it's a real stern test of their credentials. Here's Salah Al-Shamrat, one of those new introductions off the bench. Trying to burrow his way through, he's done so. But the whistle's gone in favour of Nasaf. A bit of respite for the visitors. For the foul on their captain, Eshmuradov. And listen to the noise now around the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium. They are back in the game, on and off the pitch. Momentum, though, so important in a game of football, particularly at the highest level. Nasaf had it and threw it away. Can they wrestle it back here? Bozarov has drawn the foul. Slightest of touches by Atangana, but was enough to bring him to ground. And a chance for Nasaf, who've been defending for the best part of the last 15 minutes, to throw one or two forward for this set piece. All about the delivery from Sherzod Nazarbayev. They've got a bit of height in there. Golban has cut forward. Eshmuradov lurking at the back post. That's the way it goes for the Nasaf captain. Now the counter could be on Chavez. Maras just didn't have the legs to get there ahead of the retreating Nazarbayev. What a grandstand finale we got now. Two plays on hat-tricks. Chavez has certainly made an impact off the bench. And again, he's very neat and tidy. Little break for the Brazilian once again. Tangana forced a little wider. Straight down the throat of Abdulbakir Nematov. All of a sudden, FC Nasaf look just a little weary. Understandable given the weather. Both in Jeddah, which is mid-30s, and the rather more temperate conditions they're used to back home. 20 degrees at the moment in Kashi. Here's Kessie floating it back post. Mahrez looking to sneak one in. at that near post past Nemetov. He wasn't full this time. But they're on a roll, the Asian champions. Only one team looks likely at the moment. And it's not the team that led 2-0 until the 64th minute. All about the quality of the delivery from this corner. Mahrez swings it in. Ibanez got the header. Nasaf scrambling away. Nasaf have made a change before that corner was made. More on that in a moment. As Gonçalves wins the ball back. Scoop it out. Just got the ball caught between his feet a little bit. Mateusz Gonçalves, after Rakhmatov is over on the ball. He's got to find some solutions. Berdiv. Mateusz Gonçalves getting the pats on the back for his impact off the bench. Change for Nasaf. Ozbek Bozorov replaced. And the new man, Sharaf Mukhidirov. This is the moment that changed the context of the game, though. I tell you what, had that ball not gone in, probably would have been a penalty, because it came off the hand of Igor Golban. But it was Golban anyway, off the boot of Mio. This is how the second goal arrived. A goal-mouth scramble. Kessie couldn't control it. Played toward goal by Salah and eventually bundled in by that man Mio again. And the Nasaf coach throwing his water bottle to the floor in disgust and frustration. He started to repay a chunk of that €35 million fee that he cost Al-Ahli when signing from Stuttgart in August. Matthias Eisler, his coach, knew his Stuttgart coach, Seb Hoeneß, very well. They worked together at RB Leipzig. And of course, Al-Ahli were in the market for a playmaker after the departure of Gabri Veiga to Porto. It must be said that Mayo had, prior to the goals, largely flattered to deceive. And he's come good in the end tonight. Somehow Nasaf have got to find a second wind, and at the very least try and hold on for a point, which would certainly represent a good result for them. They would have hoped for all three. He had to still get them, of course. It has been one-way traffic for much of the second half. Suleiman very nearly giving away a corner there. Edouard Mendy with the sharp reactions. Gonçalves. Now with the shorts tucked up to try and provide some extra air to very hot body. Might have the weight on that one to get through for Salah Al-Shamra. Long punt forward and the chase is on here, but Mendy showing good awareness of the situation. Mio. Salah Al-Shamra. Gonçalves. Kessie. Dams. Starting to get those combinations going, which they couldn't in the first half. Gonçalves again. That ball's gone out of play. Blessed relief for Nasaf. Visibly wilted since the concession of that first goal. Tangana finding his compatriot Enzo Mio. Barely seen anything of Ivan Toney tonight. Dennis has been very tightly watched by Messrs Golban and Eshmuradov. Had a lot of room for manoeuvre. In comes the cross, there is Toney. His first real sight of goal. Can't remember any other opportunity. Just leveraged himself off Gaibulev. They've got a big domestic date coming up in a few days' time. 19th of September, they will host Al-Ahli. Always one that the fans ring on their calendar. Nasaf perhaps not finished just yet. Here's the ever-busy Nasrullayev. Plucked out of the night sky by Edouard Mendy, and a quick release too. Little touch by Mio, showing all the tricks of the trade now. Nasaf want to make a double change. They'll have to wait for the next break in play. Mio. Goalkeeper flat-tatted a little bit. Here's Mahrez. Looking to stand up Nasrullayev. Little dink it towards Toney. Can he make it stick? Goal kick. And now Nasaf can make their double change. As we watch again, that's ball into the box for Ivan Toney. It's just squirmed away from him. It's been that sort of a night for the Englishman. In fact, there are going to be 3 changes, 2 for Nasaf and one for Al-Ahli. Eshmuradov wanders off. Enzo Mio takes his leave. But it's his double that has saved the day for the Asian champions. One from long range with the goalkeeper stranded. One from short range, similar situation. Mohamed Yusuf, his replacement. And we've also got the Nigerian striker for AFC Nasaf, new arrival, Yusuf Otabanjo, 32-year-old, who arrived in July and got his first goals in the domestic league game, the big win over Bukshoro last time out. And Nasaf have a corner off Matteo Dams. Otabanjo can score goals. In fact, may well be that they're going to have a free kick here yet to handball against Matteo Dams. Arm away from the body. So an even better situation for Nasaf. Just on Otabanjo, he's scored 88 goals during his spell in Armenia with Ararat and Punic, the most prolific foreign import ever in that country. This is his Champions League Elite debut tonight, off the bench. What price a late winner for FC Nasaf. Ivan Toney has his opponent in a bear hug. Well, they went for goal straight off. Wasn't a bad try. Edouard Mendy equal to it. Hasn't had a lot to do in the second half. That's the substitutes. Lukidinov, who fired it in towards that near post. Here's the corner it's produced. Out by Atom Garner at the near post. All the way back by Bakramov. And then subsequently by Abdurakhmatov as well. Banyas has dispensed with the headband for now. Maybe it's just drenched in sweat. Symptomatic of the problems that Al-Ahli have had tonight. Somehow they've found a way, at least not to lose, at least for the moment. Bit of room here for Salah Al-Shamrat. Out towards the ever-willing Tejas Goncalves. It's probably his first poor pass since coming off the bench. It's a really good retrieval by Salah. Matteo Dams just did not have the legs. Salah a bit frustrated, but his teammate didn't make more of an effort for that one. Afflicting Bakramov, or Bakramov I should say. And a lull around the stands. Supporters of Nasaf still wondering how they managed to cough up such a promising advantage. Really, their needs look no further than their goalkeeper. Otherwise excellent, but he made a big mistake for the opening goal. Al-Ahli, of course, will also compete in this year's FIFA Intercontinental Cup at the end of the calendar year by virtue of their Champions League Elite success. I'll be looking forward to that one. And in this competition, they'll face Al-Ahli, Al-Gharafa, both of Qatar, Al-Sadd from Qatar as well, Sharjah from the UAE, Al-Shorta from Iraq, Al-Wada from the UAE, and Shabab Al-Ahli from the UAE. Nasaf's opponents, Al-Hilal next at home. Saudi opposition again, then Shabab Al-Ahli away, Al-Wada at home, Tractor of Iran at home, Al-Ittihad of Saudi away, Al-Shorta of Iraq at home, and then a trip to Sharjah to finish. We're into stoppage time. The end of a fascinating 90 minutes. Swung first one way and then the other. Now going to have, would you believe, 11 added minutes. So still plenty of time. Cooling break, of course, accounted for some of that time. Probably a groan on the Nasaf bench, I would imagine, when that board went up from the fourth official. Sent over the top by Ibanez. Salah Al-Shamrat. Back through Matteo Dams. Shamrat's blocked off by Guy Bouleyev. Late chance perhaps for Al-Ahli to win it. Mohamed Yusuf running into traffic. Salah Al-Shamrat, Gonçalves, Dams. Shamrat with a little dink. Oh, and it almost sneaked in. Off the boot of Mahrez, would have been offside anyway. In fact, it was Mohamed Yusuf, my apologies, who just stole in on the blind side of Ivan Toney, but would have been flagged offside anyway. Some tired bodies out there in this heat. Got to get through another 9 minutes. Otabanjo. Really, Nasaf need those sorts of balls forward to stick. Anywhere will do. Out off Nasrallah. In comes the cross. Not a bad one, but just too high for Toney. Back for Mateus Gonçalves. Matteo Dams to swing it across. Here's the chance. Oh, there's the goal. A moment of brilliance from Riyad Mahrez. Just as the game seemed to be drifting towards a 2-2 draw. A little bit of top quality, a little bit of magic from Riyad Mahrez. And Al-Ahli's comeback from 2-0 down is complete in stoppage time. Goalkeeper perhaps a little slow to get down. Maybe in fairness to him, a bit unsighted. And Riyad Mahrez becomes just the third Al-Ahli player to hit double figures in Asia's top competition. Following on in the footsteps of Victor Chamois and Omar Al-Soma. 9 goals and 8 assists last season. And now his 10th goal in the AFC Champions League Elite. Is it going to prove to be the winner? And will VAR yet bring the celebrations to a close? They are checking. Well, they don't care about the VAR check at the moment. They just wait for the all clear and for an Al-Ahli player to make his way back into his own half of the pitch or off the field. And the goal stands. Salah Al-Shamra wants to come back on. He's just been told to wait for a moment. Heartbreak late on for Nasaf. Can they come again? Nasrullah's cross. He's been excellent today for them. Even though Nasaf have played a part in their own downfall, you've also got to give some credit to Al-Ahli. Much more energetic in the second half. They were pretty tepid in the first. But they have built pressure, ultimately built scoreboard pressure, and finally hit the front in the 93rd minute. Al-Ahli now ending the game seemingly in full control. We'd never believed that they had to do it the hard way, the really, really hard way. Barring a late miracle, it's going to be 19 Champions League Elite matches without defeat. And that 6-year unbeaten home record is going to be protected as well. For a good hour here this evening, it did not seem as though that was going to be the outcome. Back pass from Dams and a slip from Mendy. Managed to get back to his feet in time. Goodness me. It was like the Keystone Cops back there for a moment. It's a lovely release by Kessie. Controlled by Mahrez. Kessie once again. Can they find some energy? Buliev's ball. Just swatted away by the Al-Ahli defence. It was a game plan from Ruzikul Berdiv that oh so nearly worked. And you can't legislate for goalkeeping mistakes. And the moment that first Al-Ahli goal went in via Enzo Mio, They did look vulnerable. As did Edouard Mendy here. Managed to retrieve the situation. That was Senegal against Nigeria in a foot race there. And they're checking a possible red card here. VAR. Davronov and Tony, the two protagonists here, and neither willing to take a backward step. And I do fancy that Ivan Toney is maybe unhappy with something that Davronov has said, along with his earlier actions. That's my inference, my reading of the situation. Can't be 100% sure, of course. Here's the first little coming together. There's the second. Something out of nothing at all, really, so unnecessary. Just at the point when you felt that all the heat had gone out of the game. Well, with this added time, we could be here all night. Referee calling across. Frank Kessie is the senior outfield player, and Dragan Cheran, who's now wearing the captain's armband for Nasaf, trying to pour some oil on troubled waters. Ivan Toney is positively cooking. Just can't help feeling there's a little bit more to it. Just a bit of niggle. Well, the caption says that VAR still checking that possible red card, and referee Rio Tanamoto has been called across. Let's have a look at the screen here. And on a night that has been packed full of drama, including the referee dropping his cards, there could be a little bit more yet to come. That's the first incident. Davronov using the arm to push Ivan Toney away. Of course, the next question that the referee has to answer, and VAR, is whether that foul was a denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, in which case Davronov could be in big bother here. We're about to find out. Yeah, red cards. Alibek Davronov, who was sent off in this competition against Sharjah back in 23-24, sees red once again for the denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. And Ivan Toney's anger, it seems, fully justified. After a lengthy delay. That's the verdict, red card for blocking off the striker as he was about to run through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And that's why Davronov had to go. A night that began oh so well for Nasaf is ending somewhat in disarray. A little bunny hop manoeuvre from Salah Al-Shamra. I think we've seen that since the days of Cuauhtémoc Blanco at the World Cup in 1994. Here's Gonçalves. Can he set the seal on it? Couldn't quite set himself, and then the blast from one of the other substitutes, Mohamed Yusuf. Took a big deflection. It's going to be a corner. We played almost 15 minutes of stoppage time. They weren't smiling in the first half, but they are now. And he's been one of the big reasons. He's been excellent off the bench. Mahrez sitting on the tricks. That was unintentional, but it still worked out okay for Al-Ahli. There we go. That sets the seal on it. Mohamed Suleiman from close range. 4-2. And Nasaf, after having led 2-0 at half-time, are sunk. And it's all gone Al-Ahli's way. And even a smile on the dial of Matthias Jaisler. That's been a long time coming tonight as well. Mahrez's ball was unintentional for Salah Al-Shamrat, and his pass was perfect, and so too was the finish from Mohamed Suleiman. I think that's his first senior goal, hence the big smiles. A horrible second half for FC Nasaf. They've conceded 4 times. Ended the game a man light as well. And it was all started really by that rush of blood from their goalkeeper Nematov. That came as late as the 64th minute, by the way. They were still 2 goals up at that point. But as soon as that goal went in from Enzo Mio, they looked rather brittle. A game that's had so many talking points. The bare bones of it, in a few seconds' time, will be that Al-Ahli are up and running again in the AFC Champions League Elite. Maybe there's still time for another goal. Into the 18th minute of stoppage time. Well, that's lovely. For Mohamed Yusuf. And the referee says that will do. A night of high drama in Jeddah. Al-Ahli, the reigning Champions League champions, 2-0 down at the break, thanks to 2 excellent finishes from Hussein Nurchayev. But they roared back in the second half. An error from Nematov, opening the door for them. 2 for Enzo Mio. 1 for Riyad Mahrez in stoppage time, in the 3rd minute of stoppage time, I should say. And then, virtually with the last kick of the game, 1 for the youngster, Mohamed Suleiman. In the end, it looks a comfortable victory. It was anything but that. Nasaf finishing the game with just 10 men after Alibek Davronov had been sent off. Enzo Mio starts to repay a chunk of that big transfer fee. The substitutes were good off the bench. Salah Al-Shamrat certainly played his part, teeing up that 4th and final goal. But boy, they had to work hard for it, the Asian champions. But in the end, their defence is off to a successful start. They have defeated Nasaf Al-Ahli by 4 goals to 2.